Having just watched season 3 of One Punch Man, the incredible opening animation of this random isekai really annoyed me. But regardless of that, this anime really has potential, with a very interesting setup, a unique art style, good animation, and a serious tone. So let's get into it to see if my status as an assassin obviously exceeds the hero's is worth watching for you. Initially, the first episode was very disappointing. While the premise was cool, with an entire classroom getting summoned to another world to aid in the defeating of a demon lord by a possibly corrupt king, the execution was terrible. Everything happened so freaking fast. The characters feel extremely generic, and the whole classroom has the same, "oh boy, I got isekai'd, that's cool" attitude, which is completely unrealistic for the entire group to have. The main character, who is very cautious and discerning, fully trusts a certain knight from this world comically fast. This knight then leaves a book within the king's library, planning out a coup he wants to stage against the king for our main character to find, which he luckily does before any of the king's subjects do. What? This happens in the first episode. I cannot get over how bafflingly stupid that is. Anyways, the classroom of kids all learn about their different classes and the powers that go along with it. The hero class is supposed to be the strongest, but our main character's assassin class is way more powerful than him. That's crazy. The power system is alright, and some of the fights are decently fun enough to watch. The issues I really have with this story is the pacing and characters. The pacing really ruins any chance this had at being good. It's so fast, there is no weight to anything. If any issue comes up, it immediately cuts to the solution. There's barely any build up to anything. This especially sucks because there are some really interesting things happening here. The beginning of the story could have been a very intriguing introduction, as our main character could slowly find out about the overall world, the corruption within the castle, to eventually learn about the mind control situation and betrayal of the king. Instead, none of what I just said is even a spoiler, because it is all revealed in less than 20 minutes in one single episode. Despite the bad, there is a lot of good. The overall idea of the story is really interesting, as I mentioned, even though it is told horribly. There are also some really interesting concepts, such as mind control magic and the counters to it, which leads to some really interesting situations. And despite the entire classroom being pretty chill with their entire lives getting uprooted, a lot of the story is built around how people have been transported from our world and into this world. Since that has happened throughout history, we get to see how that affects the culture, language, and politics. Now, surprisingly, the second half of this anime improves a lot. It feels like they rushed through the first 5 episodes and then actually started telling the story they wanted to tell. The pacing slows down considerably, the characters become much more interesting, and I found myself actually somewhat enjoying it. It's still not amazing, most of the situations still feel rushed, and those first setup episodes being so bad still really hurts it, but it almost feels like an entirely different show in the second half. There's very little fan service, which helps its serious vibe. The animation is fine, but not special except for a few scenes, and there's nothing here that really stands out as something you should definitely watch. There are some really good moments, but the build-up to them isn't good enough to make me fully bought in, which is the biggest problem with this show. It's interesting, and for the most part, if I explained the events of the story, it'd seem like a good show, but it's just not told well enough to really hit the way it is intending to. It had a lot of potential, it gets better in the second half, but overall, I think there are a lot of better anime to spend your time with. It's a C-tier show because of its potential, but it's a 4 because it absolutely does not capitalize on it. Thanks for watching. Check out my previous review of One Punch Man for something truly special with a less than special adaptation. That's all for me, Jamio.